Welcome. Today we're diving into a really fascinating explainer where we're going to unpack a high-level executive vision specifically designed to attract prospective core founders. We're looking at a source document that lays out a complete blueprint for a highly scalable, purpose-driven initiative. And, the creators aren't just pitching another run-of-the-mill organization here. They are proposing an actual engine for exponential kingdom impact. So as we go through this overview together, we'll explore exactly how this model aims to systematically grow individuals, empower leaders, and fundamentally transform charitable organizations from the ground up. Let's get right into it.
Now, I really want you to sit with this question for a second. What if your daily habits could literally fund the growth of world-changing nonprofits? Usually, personal development and philanthropic funding are treated like two completely separate silos, right? You work on yourself over here, and you donate your money to charity over there. But this initiative asks, well, what if they were merged? What if the incredible power of gamified personal growth could be channeled to drive profound, systemic empowerment for nonprofits? That is the exact paradigm shift we're talking about today.
So how in the world is this actually done? The answer lies in the core engine proposed here, which is a free mobile platform called the Pax app. It essentially lets users play their way to better businesses, better lives, and better relationships. People interact with the app to track their daily actions, literally watching their avatar health improve as they build consistency. But here is the absolutely crucial foundation. All of the strategies, the whole gamification model, it's rooted entirely in biblical principles, specifically drawn from the New Living Translation of the Bible. So it's gamification for sure, but with a profound faith-based purpose. The mechanics powering the Pax app are built on this really interesting, biblically inspired growth framework: lag, lead, and lift. Let's break this down using the metaphor of a harvest. First, you've got your lag indicators. Think of this as the harvest itself, those specific, measurable 1 to 3 year goals that are ultimately placed in God's timing. Reaching this outcome requires trust, acknowledging the growth is in His hands. Next are the lead indicators. This is the courage to actually act, the everyday sowing and watering. We're talking about 1 to 5 daily or weekly actions performed consistently over a 12-week season. And finally, the lift actions. These are your one-time smart milestones, like, say, joining a gym or buying a key piece of software that instantly elevate your overall capacity to perform those lead actions. Once you're inside the app, you follow what the platform calls the AA approach to growth. It's basically 3 simple, very actionable steps. Step 1 is awareness. This is about taking a hard, honest look at where you are right now, where you're trying to go, and identifying any gaps. Step 2 is the action plan. Here, users co-create this dynamic vision using a tool called a Virtual Momentum Action Plan, or VMAP, which maps out key values and initiatives. And step 3 is achievement. Now, this one is massive. This step is all about eliminating what the creators call the tyranny of the urgent. Those constant daily fires and distractions that derail us. Eliminating those so you can stay relentlessly focused on high-impact outcomes. To truly make these habit changes stick, the methodology uses something called the Pack Iceberg approach. Think about an iceberg. Above the waterline, you have the part everyone sees. This is tactical advising and consulting. It provides the best practices and step-by-step guidance for business scalability. But as we all know, true, lasting transformation actually happens below the waterline. That's where psychological coaching comes in. By using tools like the Nobel-nominated MindScan assessment, the program helps users uncover their true deep-seated motivations and finally overcome those psychological obstacles holding them back. It's really offering the best of both worlds. And when you combine that solid tactical advice with deep psychological coaching, it helps people find their holy grail, the sweet spot. This is defined as that perfect intersection of passion, purpose, and profit. Now, why does this matter so much? Well, the source material points out how many leaders out there, they actually mention a specific real estate leader as an example, spend their entire day just putting out fires, completely surrendering to that tyranny of the urgent we talked about. They're just exhausted. So the ultimate goal of this entire app ecosystem is to help users and nonprofits escape that daily burnout and operate consistently within their unique sweet spot, which is where maximum impact just naturally happens. Okay, let's zoom out a bit and look at the macro strategy here, because this continuous cycle of influence is really where the magic happens. It starts on an individual level. Users gamify their habits on the free Pay6 app. Then, as they grow and see results, they naturally share it, which organically expands the platform's user base. And here's the real kicker: the kingdom impact. As this free platform grows, all the donations and support it generates are channeled directly into funding elite, world-class coaching and consulting services exclusively for nonprofits. So an individual's micro actions to improve their own life literally generate the funding required to help charitable organizations thrive. It's a brilliant loop. And that brings us to the core philosophy driving this entire vision: growing individuals who then help grow organizations, amplifying impact at every level. It's a massive cascading effect. When world-class tools empower an individual leader to find their sweet spot, they don't just keep that to themselves, right? They bring that newfound clarity and purpose back to their families, to their communities, and to their businesses. And by directly funding professional coaching for nonprofits, this initiative aims to take organizations already doing vital work and give them the structural and psychological tools to scale their impact exponentially. All right, so the framework is set. The vision is crystal clear. But to actually ignite this continuous cycle of influence, the creators know they need a spark. The executive overview outlines a very specific search for exactly 12 core founders. Just 12. They are looking for visionary leaders who intuitively understand the immense power of combining gamified, biblically based personal growth with systemic nonprofit support. The initiative isn't looking for just anyone to sign up. They are seeking a highly dedicated, intimate core group to generate the initial momentum required to launch this entire ecosystem into the world. So, what is the actual pitch to these prospective founders? It comes down to 4 key pillars. First, providing the initial funding to build and officially launch the free Pax Mobile platform. Second, committing to ongoing monthly support to really sustain the mission through its early stages. Third, acting as ambassadors who actively recruit others into this shared purpose. And fourth, by doing all of these things, officially igniting that cycle of influence. The pitch emphasizes that this initial commitment is literally the seed that launches the entire self-sustaining ecosystem of growth and giving.
Which leaves us with one final, very powerful thought to end today's explainer. The document concludes with a direct challenge to its readers. Are you ready to be one of the 12 to plant the first seed? It outlines such a fascinating model, doesn't it? Using practical tools to help people find their sweet spot, turning everyday habits into world-changing funding, and providing a biblically based roadmap for exponential kingdom impact. But of course, it all relies on those first seeds being planted. Could this unique blend of gamified personal development and systemic giving be the future blueprint for philanthropy? It's definitely something to think about. Thank you so much for walking through this explainer with me, and we'll see you next time.